I recently went to Portland, Jamaica, and I was able to learn a lot about the plants of the earth. And it's always, well, for a long time now, I've been wanting to learn about the earth and learn about plants and herbs and all of that. And going on that field trip, it was one of my courses. My lecturer for that course is Moji. But yeah, I went on that field trip and I learned so much about plants, and like I wrote down so many things that I learned. Hold on, lighting. I'm not sure if the lighting is a bit wonky, so I'm gonna come forward. But yeah, I learned so many things about herbs and the earth, and I just wanted to share it with you, my thoughts regarding the use of herbs and Jamaican folk medicine. So I actually recently bought two books. One is Jamaican folk medicine, and the other one is called Traditional Jamaican Medicine, something like that. It's very similar names. And one of them in particular, it speaks about the history of herbs and how herbs really and truly originated from our African roots and our African culture. It was used on the slave plantations, by the enslaved, by the Africans for healing, for cures, because especially because they didn't really trust the Europeans. They didn't trust them because they came and colonized them. So when the Europeans would suggest biomedicine, the Africans were basically like, nah, we're not really going to use your biomedicine, because a lot of times the biomedicine that the Europeans would use also involved like purging and like throwing up and blood and all of that. And the Africans didn't really like that. So the Africans preferred a more pure and natural way of healing. And so what I learned about herbs really and truly that I've been applying in my own life slowly, little by little, is that biomedicine is important. Now, I'm not bashing biomedicine saying don't use biomedicine. I'm saying that biomedicine is very important, but you can use both. Biomedicine works more so in the way of finding a treatment, whereas herbs work slower in the body to find a cure. And different herbs that you can use are literally all around us. But it's very interesting as well because some of the herbs around us can actually harm us as well. Like for example, cassava. A lot of people don't know, but cassava, the actual skin of a cassava, is actually very toxic, and you're not supposed to eat it. But at the same time, the cassava itself, once it's peeled, is very good for you. Is that really a herb? Not necessarily, but it still comes from the earth. And before I even dive into the different herbs that I know of now that I'm expanding in my knowledge about, I just want to say that the earth is so full. Like, I don't know if you guys ever really and truly go outside and just sit down and just observe nature. Like, nature is just beautiful. I mean, just look at the trees, look at everything. It's so intricately done, by God, and it's just so amazing. And it's so interesting how God orchestrated for the plants to serve us, to serve our bodies and to serve our healing. And I remember asking the person at Maroon Town, called, her name was Mama G, but anyways, I remember asking her a question on if the herbs will work if you're a bad person. And she said that nature has unconditional love, and nature to me is an embodiment of God in and of himself. And so if God is unconditional love, so is nature. And so she was saying that it doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person, once you're sick, the herb will heal you. The only way the herb will not heal you and not serve its purpose is if you traumatize the herb. Now, how do you even traumatize a herb? Basically, if you just take a plant and you just pop it. That, you just pop it. Now that's traumatizing a plant. Because think about it, if somebody comes up to you and pushes you, you're gonna be traumatized. You don't really want to quote unquote serve them or help them. So it's the same thing with that plant. But and also another thing that we need to know of is that our bodies speak a silent language. Like, our bodies speak a language that we have to listen to. So sometimes when you feel a craving for a certain food item, it's usually because your body knows that you need it. And another thing too is, why are we so quick to run to biomedicine when earth is the first medicine that there is? So I'm gonna dive into a little bit about the actual plants that I learned of. By the way, the lighting is going to be in and out because I'm outside. But wow, nature is so beautiful. I'm just so caught up in such awe of the earth. But anyway, so I learned about castor oil. So we know and love castor oil here in Jamaica. I think I'm gonna change like the view. Hold on. So yeah, we know and love castor oil in Jamaica, and castor oil actually is a plant, and castor oil is very good. I'm reading from my notes, especially because I don't know everything out of my head just yet, but I'm just relaying this knowledge for whoever needs to hear it, whoever wants to hear it, and mostly for my children, who I want them to watch these videos when they're older, so that they can see me when I was in my early 20s, what I was learning, my journey in herbs, and so they'll understand where I'm coming from when I'm telling them to drink this and drink that and use that and use that. They'll know where I'm coming from. They'll know where it all started. So anyways, castor oil is very good for your hair. It's very good for pain. And we were taught that if you have stomach pain, like when you're on your period as a woman on your moon cycle, what you could do is that you could put some of the castor oil in your navel. And what the castor oil does is that it will seep into the skin and it will actually help to ease the pain. And that's a way that you can use castor oil. And I also learned that it's very good for inducing labor. So if you're a woman and you are about to give birth, castor oil is very good for inducing that labor, but you're not supposed to use that much. So we were told that women, if when you're in tune with your body, which is what we are supposed to be doing as women, you will know when you're about to give birth. And when you're about to give birth, you basically take a teaspoon of the castor oil, and it helps you with a smooth and easy birth. So you can take with that what you will and use it. You know, if it take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Yeah, and then the next leaf is soursop, and I know that so many of us know about soursop. Soursop is very good for your nerves, and so I was telling my grandma that like she needs to start using soursop a lot more, because she's always complaining about nerve pain. But soursop is very good for healing your nerves slowly. It takes a while, but it's very good for that. And it's also very good for if you're doing chemotherapy. So if you're doing chemotherapy for cancer, you should also use soursop while you're doing the chemotherapy, because it will help with the side effects of it. I also learned about so many more. I learned about susumba, guava. So let me tell you a little bit about guava. So, hold on, 1 second. No lie. Let me tell you about guava. So guava is very nutritious. It's high in nutritional value. It's very good for toothaches. It's very good for adding nutrients to your drinks. And also I learned from Dr. Sylvia Mitchell at University of the West Indies during a field trip that guava is actually also very good if you have stomach pain. So if you have stomach pain, just take a guava leaf and eat it. That's what I was told. And the lecturer gave a story of her daughter's friend who had a tummy ache when she had to do an exam, and her mommy, who's the Dr. Sylvia Mitchell, told her to tell her friend to just eat the guava leaf, and her stomach pain was vanished. So guava leaves are very good for stomach pains as well. Then we also have moringa. Now I have so much moringa inside this house. Moringa is very good. It's a detox type of it's a detox type of leaf. So you're not supposed to have too much of moringa tea, because moringa leaf tea can literally just clean out your entire body. And so you have to be careful when you're using moringa, but it's very good for you. So if you need to do a detox, if you need to lose weight, moringa is actually very good for that. Then you also have love bush. I learned that love bush is very good for gripe for babies. So give your baby some of the love bush, and then you see, say the baby get better very soon, because love bush is just that good for them. I also learned about the king of the forest. Now I have a big old sticker leaf of king of the forest inside, that I took home And king of the forest is very good for eczema, so it's very good for your skin if you have skin issues. So she demonstrated, so if I had the leaf I could show you, it's all the way inside. But basically the king of the forest, you hold the leaf and you rub the leaf, and then the leaf gives off this green liquid substance, and then all you do is just apply that to the area of your skin that has eczema, liver spots, what have you. And the king of the forest is very good for that. And you can also boil it, and not boil it, but you can also steep it, strain it and drink it. I've had it before multiple times. I'm not really a big fan of the taste, but granted, I was having a conversation with mommy earlier today because I did drink some Jamaican dog blood today, which is the next one that I'm going to talk about. That one really and truly is just very good for your wound health. It's very good for women when you're on your period. It's very good for easing the pain. It's also very good for clearing out your fallopian tubes, any blockages that you might have. So I had some of that earlier, and I haven't really had any moon cycle pains this entire day. Just obviously like the mellow mood that comes with it, but the Jamaican dog blood is very very good for that, very good for that. And Circe, I know that we know about Circe. Circe is very good for skin impurities. It can cleanse the body, and you can give it to babies as well, and you can also drink it while you're pregnant, and it will help you. And then Akipod is very good for washing the clothes. Spanish needle, you can use it like callaloo and eat it like greens. And yeah, so that's just a little bit about like some of the herbs I learned about. But I would implore you to like just use herbs every now and then if you want, like incorporate it in your routine, because it really does help your body. So what I mostly use is, recently started using dog blood, tried king of the forest, peppermint, which is literally I have a whole peppermint bush, and then I also have the leaf of life. I'm going to insert a video of the leaf of life that I took from Portland. And the leaf of life is literally just a divine plant that was made by God, because the leaf of life is one of the only plants that even if you put it in water and wrap it up in newspaper, it's still going to grow. And I have proof of it that I'm going to show in the next clip. But it's very good, and we planted it in the ground as well. You can use the leaf of life, you can hang it in your space, you can use it as teas, you can just plant it. It's very good for multi-purposes. And me personally, I also use lavender, and I have this blend of teas that's from Lemongrass Tea Room. It's called Happy Tummy, and it's very good for your stomach when you have stomach pains. And this stomach pains doesn't really have to be associated with period pains, but just stomach pains. It's called Happy Tummy. And yeah, so that's just a little bit wrap about herbs. If you want to learn more about herbs, even while the journey, while I learned it, especially with my sister, it's not really my blood sister, but she's my soul sister. We have a channel called The Living Philosophies, where we share what we learn, what we know about Black nationalism, Pan-Africanism, and also Jamaican folk medicine. And so you can go ahead over there and like learn more as well, and also just do your own research, because the Lord God gave us this earth. Like, we should use it. Don't traumatize it, but use the earth, while also giving back to it, and speak lovingly to trees. Like literally right now I'm sitting under a civil orange tree, and I actually brought some civil oranges inside, so I'm gonna make some civil orange juice. But yes, so I've also learned that whenever I eat more greens and like fruits, my gut health improves by a skyrocketed amount. And so I just implore you, just incorporate some of the earth, literally just incorporate some of the earth into your routine. Like, you will not regret it at all. You won't regret it. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I don't know how long this video was. And I also recommend that you read Jamaican Folk Medicine. I'll insert another clip of that book so you can see what that book looks like. I got it at the University Press. So you can go to the University Press for a lot of these books to learn just so much more about food, herbs, plants, everything that the earth has given to us. But yeah, blessings. And I wish you all very well. And if you have any questions, you can always just reach out to me, DM me. And my kids watching this, my future children who I already envision in the now, if you are watching this and you have a question, just come to me and ask me, and we'll talk some more about it. But yes, thank you for listening, everyone. Bless. This is so one more thing. I also forgot to share that when you are about to pick a plant to whether, well, two things. When you're going to use a herb, you are not supposed to boil it in directly in the water, because then you're going to kill the medicine that the plant has. And remember that plants pull the medicine from the roots in order to actually put it in the actual herbs for you, in the actual plant leaf itself. And so you're not supposed to boil it as well. And then additionally, before you even pick a herb off of a plant, like leaves off of a plant or what have you, like for example the leaf of life, or even the peppermint, or the cerci, or the guava, or the soursop, whatever, ask the plant permission. Now, a study was actually done where plants were put into environments. One of the environments was it was put in an environment where it was spoken down on. So a lot of negative words like, oh, you're ugly, XYZ. And then there was another environment where the plant was put in and the plant was given life, like uplifting words and statements, and the plant thrived. And so the thing is that plants listen to us, they can hear us. And so when you're about to pick it, especially if you're going to drink it, ask the plant permission and say, hi, can I pick you? I know it sounds woo-woo, but still they listen to us, they hear us. And remember that it's God's creation, and everything that God has created is living, breathing, existing. And so they deserve the right to be asked, please. So yeah, that's another takeaway.